Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin.
Yay, thank you. You're way too kind. You're way too kind.
Man, thanks. I know. Wonderful, yes.
Hey, welcome to the 200th episode of the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm Ellen Goodwin, and I couldn't be happier to be here.
Woohoo! So honored to be with you, Ellen. I mean, you are the glue that keeps us together. I'm just the other sticky stuff that gets in and mucks it up.
Oh, no, you're not, Lee. I couldn't have done this without you. You couldn't have done it without me. And
well, I don't know if that's true. You have done a few episodes without me.
But we couldn't have done it without our listeners either.
That is so
it's
true.
A huge group effort. So almost 4 years ago, we stepped into the studio for the first time and recorded a few podcasts. And can I say right now, they were not the best that we ever did. But you know what? It was a learning curve, and we're on it still.
I don't even remember. I mean, 4 years ago, I don't remember sucking, but in retrospect, yeah, I think because I'm a listener as well, and what I like about the show, I'll say it now is, I mean, I learned a lot. I've learned so much from listening to you, and
I've learned a lot from you,
from your tips. But what I like as a listener is just sometimes we are just fun and goofy, and I'll catch myself smiling while I'm listening, like I'm smiling, and so it brings good ideas. It helps us to be more efficient, but it also brings a little levity, and that's my favorite part is the parts where
most definitely. And it all started by me eating your toast, stealing your toast.
That was me trying to lose weight back down in the 1975.
For our listeners, we had met for breakfast one day, and I'd already had breakfast because my breakfast is way earlier than Lee's. And like Lee's, it's like 10:30 and he's having breakfast, and I'm hours away from having eaten already. And he's like, yeah, I can't eat bread. And I'm like, well, I'm going to eat your toast.
And I knew then, this is the person I want to work with.
Oh, but we'd known each other for a long time before that. I just hadn't stolen any of your toasts before.
No, but as you said in the very beginning, something about us coming together, individually we may not have ever done it, or it might not have lasted as long. And so if there's a lesson to be learned from our show, it's that if you follow through on something, as fearful as you may be in the beginning and as much as you may suck, as we pointed out, if you see it through, the sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that I feel from reaching 200 episodes, it's indescribable. It's huge. And sometimes to get to that point, you do need a partner that when you're not feeling it, they bring you back up. When you're, when you're at like, I don't know if I really want to, they just keep you going. And I think that's the two things that I've learned most from doing this.
Yeah. Sometimes, you want to do things alone, but having someone to prop you up, to push you forward is how things get done. And, we've done over 52 episodes from our houses because, while we recorded in a studio before 2020, March 2020, we both retreated to our homes, and have we even seen each other in real life in the last year? I don't think we have. And so we learned to make do. And just like you said, we helped each other out. You got a microphone, and then I got a microphone, and we figured out how we could make the sound better. And we kept our trusty producer, Wayne Duncan, who the last he was heard from was about episode 148. But he's been helping us all along as well. So we're learning on the fly, as it were.
Yeah, and if there was ever a time to acknowledge somebody that I think you and I obviously were the quote unquote talent, but But really, Wayne's the most talented of the three of us because
Wayne is.
he's a master back there. So if you feel like, oh, the only thing holding me back is my lack of knowledge, and or my lack of some people will never be good at doing the behind the scenes stuff. They just want to be out in front of the camera, in front of the microphone. That's great. Know your strengths and find someone who has the strengths you're missing and work with them. And certainly the least you can do is acknowledge them for making things happen. So without Wayne, we wouldn't be here. And he's a genius. He really is. He's a talented, super talented musician, and he's a super talented engineer. And I know we could probably maybe have done the under the hood stuff ourselves, but why would we when we found someone who is a master at it? And it would take us hours to do what he does in minutes. And it would take us years to learn what he spent years to learn. So that's another lesson I would say that I've learned from the 200 shows is no matter how long we do it, I think I still always want someone who's better at something doing that important part of whatever the project is.
Oh, yeah. I know people that have podcasts and they're like, okay, yeah, I got it recorded and now I have to edit. And just the dread in their voice of editing and producing the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, we're done. And if we're doing a podcast about being efficient with your time, guess what? We're efficient with our time for the podcast. We know, like you said, this is not our strength to edit and engineer things. We know this. It's better to do things that we're good at and have Wayne do the stuff we're not good at.
So I raise a glass. Here's to the show. Here's to the fans. Yes. Here's to our partnership. But most of all, here's to Wayne.
Here's to Wayne. Thank you to everyone who's been a loyal listener. Please share the podcast with your friends. Follow, like, and review. And be back with us next week for episode 201 of the Faster, Easier, Better Show.